people are quietly forgetting, ranked outside the world's top 40. And somewhere out there, a headline is already half written about a promising kid who peaked too early. So what actually happened in those 90 days? Keep watching, because the real beginning isn't on a tennis court at all. It's in an airport, at night, with one bag and one impossibly brave decision. 13 years old. Fluorescent lights overhead. Her parents standing a few feet away, trying not to let their faces show what they're feeling. She hugs them, turns, and walks toward a gate that leads to Mallorca, Spain, and the Rafael Nadal Academy, one of the most unforgiving proving grounds in the sport. New country. New language. A room full of kids from every continent chasing the exact same impossible dream, knowing only a handful of them will ever make it out the other side. Here's the part nobody warns you about. There's no contract waiting for her. No guarantee any of this pays off. Picture the scene that repeats itself for years afterward. 5 a.m, empty courts. Just her, a coach, a ball machine, and a silence so total you can hear your own doubts breathing. That's the part the highlight reels never show you. Some nights the homesickness hits so hard it feels physical, a weight sitting on her chest as the academy goes quiet around her. But instead of running from it, she builds a cage around it made of pure routine. Wake up, train, study, recover, repeat. It sounds boring. It is boring. And that boredom is exactly what quietly forges a threat nobody sees coming. Here's the thing about resilience nobody tells you. It doesn't arrive the day you need it most. It's been stacking up in silence, one invisible morning at a time. Which is exactly why what happens next lands like a shockwave. Cut to 2022. Flushing Meadows, New York. 17 years old, standing at the baseline, 1 point away from a title that will change everything. She wins it. U.S. Open Girls Singles Champion. And just like that, a name almost nobody outside junior tennis had ever heard is suddenly everywhere. But here's a trap almost nobody warns young athletes about. The moment you succeed young, the world starts measuring you against a version of yourself you haven't even become yet. Every future loss stops being just a loss. It becomes a question. Was that title a fluke? Can she actually survive against grown women who've been doing this for a decade? Those questions trail her onto the Pro Tour like a shadow that refuses to leave. But so does something else, something quieter and more powerful. Memory. The memory of standing on a massive stage and delivering when it mattered most. So she climbs. Not cleanly, nobody climbs cleanly, but she climbs. And then 2025 happens, and everything detonates at once. Miami. Picture it. Packed stands, humid Florida air, and a teenager playing like she has absolutely nothing to lose. Win after win, she's taking down seasoned professionals with this fearless, left-handed, no-hesitation style nobody quite knows how to solve. She reaches the semifinals. Say that number again in your head. The semifinals, in a tournament built to swallow players exactly like her whole. Commentators are scrambling live on air to explain who she even is. Fans who've never watched her play are typing her name into search bars mid-match. Back home in the Philippines, an entire country is gathered around screens, watching one of their own trade blows with the best in the world. It feels like liftoff. And that's precisely the moment you should brace yourself, because tennis has one brutal, unbreakable law. It punishes anyone who assumes momentum lasts forever. Fast forward to 2026. Same stadium, same blue courts. But something invisible has shifted. Because this time she's not the underdog people are rooting for. She's the target everyone expects to repeat a miracle. And the magic doesn't show up. She's out early, far earlier than anyone predicted, and you can almost feel the exact moment the momentum drains out of the arena. The ranking points that had been holding her up start disappearing with her. Within weeks, she's fallen outside the top 40 again. Read that number one more time. From the outside, this looks like collapse. So here's the question nobody's saying out loud yet, but everyone's thinking, was Miami the peak, or was it just the beginning of a fall? Whispers start almost immediately. Did opponents figure her out? Was that breakthrough one perfect week mistaken for greatness? The tour shifts onto clay next, a surface built for patience and grinding, the exact opposite of everything that makes her dangerous, and the results confirm the worst fears. Picture a match point slipping away on a slow red court, ball after ball landing just a few inches long, her shoulders dropping slightly with every unforced error. Winnable matches slip away in tight sets. The aggression that once defined her starts to look hesitant, almost apologetic. Every early exit becomes another headline questioning whether the breakthrough was ever real. This is usually where stories like this end. But here's what almost nobody watching from the outside understood, and this is the turn you need to lean into. While the scoreboard tells one story, something completely different is happening underneath it. She keeps training. She keeps stepping onto courts she might lose. In one interview during this exact stretch, her voice steady but tired, she talks about learning to manage pressure and expectation, calling it maybe the hardest opponent she's faced yet. That's not the sound of someone giving up. Coaches are quietly sharpening details that won't show up in a scoreline for weeks. Her body is being rebuilt, rep by rep, to survive a full season at the top. None of it is visible. None of it makes headlines. But brick by invisible brick, it's happening underneath a season that looks, on paper, like a disaster. So keep this in mind, because it matters more.